Thank you so much, Dr. Neeraj, for joining us on this podcast at Dot Live, and for all the audience, who have been listening to us. Dr. Neeraj is not an MBBS doctor, okay, but he's going to talk about healthcare and to a huge extent, especially the people-related problems and functions, which become very relevant for healthcare industry. Has been a veteran, HR leader, worked across various industries, across various geographies as well. So you will also be talking about his experience in Kenya. So do keep on watching it till the end. Thank you so much, Dr. Neeraj, for joining us, and thank you so much for taking out time.
Thank you. Thank you, Rishikesh. Thank you for inviting me and having me. It would be a pleasure for sharing my ideas for more than 2 decades of experience in healthcare in hospitals, India, a little bit in Kenya. So, yes, I would say it will be a wonderful discussion. To opening, I would like to say that healthcare is not only a medical business, it's a people business, because the emotionally beaten people come to the hospital. People don't come for for walk-in for pleasure. And in hospitals, generally I say every time people deal with either life or death in hospital. There is no third thing in between. So this side of the life, this side death, very thin line, minute line where you have to deal with. Yes, but it will be a wonderful talking to you and uh, some ideas or some people can benefit from, or basically I've been dealing with people experience projects, hospital projects. So let's take the talk further. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So when we enter the hospital, we trust the doctors. But here is something which is very fascinating: is that the quality of healthcare often depends on people whom patients never meet,
Yeah.
and they're not actually the doctors. Uh, you have HR leaders, operations team, administrators, crisis managers, and you told that you have spent over 2 decades building and running healthcare institutions. So let me ask you this first of all, sir. Like, why do some of the hospitals deliver extraordinary care while there are a lot of others who struggle despite having equally talented doctors?
Yeah, very important and good question. Every hospital, I will not debate or argue. Doctors are the heart of any hospital. They are the lifeline. No debate in that. But behind that, there is a system running. The system is running. This doctor is, or any doctor, any hospital is successful because the entire backend team is also there with him. So the system, the culture is there, which helps the system, the hospital to run. Now, any hospital, doctor is the lifeline. I don't debate, but the system, the processes, and every the medicine, the whether suppose a doctor is excellent doctor, he's a world-round doctor, and when he goes in the OT, the instruments are not there. So
Yes.
the patient care is directly or indirectly affected. And who is responsible for that? The entire the back end team, who, whether it's nurse or whether it's a procurement manager or whether it's an HR person who has not delivered the training properly, the mapping has not been done. Whose task is this? So I am not saying that any hospitals or any big hospital or small hospital, the hospital doesn't run on the buildings or only on the technology. The hospital runs on the people, the leadership team. Even for me, a housekeeping guy is equal important. A pathologist, a technician or X-ray technician is equally important what a consultant is, or an HR person is, or a finance person is. So every dot is connected, and that makes a circle. That's the entire gamut of circle. So
Yeah.
that is the way what I wanted to say, that in any healthcare industry, every dot should be connected. If a
Right.
single dot is missing, the circle is not complete. Similarly, like suppose when the rain falls, it's just a drop, but when it goes on the ground, it makes a flood. The
Yeah.
drop all adds and makes a flood. Similarly, in any industry, in a healthcare we say that in airlines, like it's also said,
Yeah.
कि आप अपनी सुरक्षा पहले करें. You put your oxygen mask first before
Yes.
treating others.
Hmm.
Or that's the way, since in healthcare, every people, for me, a housekeeping, a security guard, a front office, a finance guy, everybody is important for me, and all the dots connected, and they work together. When they work together, that is important work. Everybody is doing hard working. Hard working is not important here. The important is working together and smart working, because ultimately it will affect the patient care.
Yes.
One way or other, it will go to the patient satisfaction will be hit. Now, moment people are satisfied, the patient satisfied index will go up. This
Yes.
is my summary.
Right, sir. So obviously, there are a lot of people who are behind the doctors. Doctors are the front facing ones,
Right, right.
who keep the system functioning. Uh, Sir, you've got over 20 years of experience. Like, when you look back, what are a few operational challenges which you feel, uh, you know, which are there, but which, patients don't notice, but you kind of taking care of the entire system have seen that usually happening.
Ji. See, I'll say I like to add, in a 24-hour shift, I mean, in 24 hours, any hospital or any in a lifespan, we have a day of 24 hours. So
Yeah.
in 24 hours, the doctors hardly spend, I'll say 5 to 10 minutes or 20, 15 minutes with the patients. And the rest, if you say 23 and a half hours, I'll take that way. So nurses, the ward boys, the, security guards and everybody spends with this patient.
Yes.
Doctors, no doubt, they half an hour is equivalent to, it's a very important portfolio of half an hour. But yes, the training is important. Behind the scene, the bed sheet is changed on time, because see, if my family member is
Yeah.
lying on the bed and suppose the blood spills or something's for, I would not like him to lie on the bed for 5 minutes also on that bed sheet. I want the bed sheet immediately, the new bed sheet. Why
Mm.
I'm paying you 5,000 rupees a rent or 4,000 rupees a rent,
Yeah.
sorry, a bed charges per day apart from the rest of the things. But in hospital is a cumbersome industry. It's a very cumbersome, everything is interlinked to each other. So every department has their own, the challenges, but the dots are connected. It's a leadership team at the back which makes the system functioning. Generally when the administration is good, it is not seen. When it is good, it is not seen. Everything is perfect running, koi dikkat nahi, everything is fine.
Right.
But the moment that anything is problem is there, and operational challenges or problem is there, it is not doesn't get ignored. It doesn't get ignored at any cost. The smallest of the smallest thing. I remember in one of the hospitals, we had a 4 wheelchairs in each floor.
Yeah.
But what happened? All the 4 wheelchairs went to, somebody went to X-ray, somebody went to some other or floor. Immediately at that time, there was a lady who wanted, the wheelchair to go to the NICU because she wanted to feed the baby who was newly born. But
Yes.
it took us 6-7 minutes to arrange the chair. Reason is, I told you, 4 wheelchairs per floor was good enough for. We can't stack the wheelchair in all floors. But it was just a hardly 6 minutes delay, but they threw tantrum. Not, I'm saying tantrum, that was emotional outburst. My child is hungry, without milk, he or she will die. I am not blaming that. Yes, he was wrong. 5 minutes mein kya ho jata hai? 6 minutes
Yes.
is not. But yes, he was a mother. She had a right to put her foot forward. That
Yes.
why you're taking 6 minutes for the chair, for a wheelchair to come. But my wheelchair had gone on the down floor. Then again, we have to ring up. The lift came up with the wheelchair, and it took 6 minutes approx. But
Yeah.
yes, people don't understand it.
No.
Reason is, I'm not debating people are wrong. Actually, what happens is, I'll tell you, we as a healthcare professionals, we get saturated. Suppose you come to a hospital as a,
Yeah.
God forbids, but if you come to a hospital, if you come with a headache, for you,
Mm.
for us, what headache? When we treat cancer, we see cancer patients, and we
Yes.
see, dying little next to death patients. For
Mm.
us, a headache patient is good for
Yeah.
nothing. It's good
Yes.
for nothing. Headache ही आपको सर दर्द है ना, what else? ठीक है, good, that's right, good enough. But
Mm.
for you, it's the first time. You are
Yes.
in a panic state. You are in a very, trauma state. Never in my life I had headache and I have a sharp pain here. For
Yeah.
us, it's okay. It's pain. We'll take care of you, sir. Please have a seat. But for you,
Mm.
you want immediately everything to be done because it's the first time you have come. Second thing I would say, in hospitals generally, people don't plan for healthcare. Health. They don't. We are
Mm.
not being taught from our childhood कि आप थोड़े से health के लिए पैसे बचाओ. For that is an extra money. Suppose you have bought to saved money to buy a bike. And
Yeah.
now you are thinking, I am having a headache. I don't know how much I have to spend here, 5, 6,000, 10,000. My bike will be not purchased, will get postponed. So you get panic.
Mm.
So you get disturbed. Oh my God. And then you get the irritation on the nurses or ward boys or security guard, whatever it is. Third thing I would say, you are a gentleman. You are in calm, quiet. Though you are having a headache, you are calm, quiet. But your mother, father has come. They are very worried about you. This is my son. His first time he's got headache.
Yes.
They'll start shouting, why my son is not been treated. It's 10 minutes sitting in the OPD right now. So every new patient entering in our hospital is a new entrant. Is a new in the portal.
Mm.
So I can't say, oh my God, you are a headache only. No, no, no. Said, why you're shouting? See the
Mm.
patient who's going for surgery and you are not important. I can't say that. For me, every patient is important, and right from my security guard, because the moment you enter any place, any premises of hospital, first you see security guard,
mm,
then you see the front office, then you see nurses or whatever. The doctor comes little bit later, or the management people comes much behind it.
mm,
So, but the engineering team, the lighting, the plugs, the room, every equipment, the medicine availability of the pharmacy, everything is dot is connected. Administration, it's in healthcare is an entire ecosystem which needs to be managed very efficiently, because 2 minutes of delay, people, I mean, something may go wrong in the life of people. Somebody may lose life, somebody may lose an eye, or somebody may lose an hand. But for us, it's a hand only. But for that person, it's his life. So we have to be extra, extra care. Every person for us, the leadership team is important. The dots has to be connected. And
mm,
I say again, leadership is not only you are standing in front. Leadership is from the behind also. If
mm.
you manage the show from behind, you are the leader. Leader doesn't mean that you're standing in the front and managing the show. The
Right.
people who manage the show, it's like an orchestra.
Mm,
Everybody has to play the role. You can't say he's just a housekeeping or he's just a security. He's just a technician. I am a
mm.
general manager. I am the vice president, HR or administration. Who are you? We can't say that. Everybody is important in the system.
राइट सर, अगर अभी आप एक जैसे किसी भी हॉस्पिटल में गए
जी,
एंड यू आर गोइंग लाइक एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन हेड, और आप अंदर में गए, कोई आपको नहीं जानता है, um, आप क्या क्या चीज देखेंगे और आप कैसे बता पाएंगे कि यार ये हॉस्पिटल में ना ये ऑपरेशनल चैलेंज है, लीडरशिप का दिक्कत है, जो भी है, और आप पहली बार गए हैं सर उस हॉस्पिटल में, पहली बार गए हैं, आपको कोई नहीं जानता कि डॉक्टर नीरज कुमार है, ऐसे समझ रहे हैं लोग कि ये न्यूट्रल आदमी है, बट
जी,
आपको पूरी आजादी है कि पूरे हॉस्पिटल में आप घूम सकते हैं,
जी,
आप देख सकते हैं, तो क्या
जी.
देखेंगे सर आप?
So
या
people are in stress, as well as there's a lot of night shift, and nurses or doctors know कि थोड़ी सी गलती के कारण patient को कुछ हो सकता है. So they have to be doubly sure for everything, whether they give injection or they write any line of treatment or they punch anything in data. So they have to be doubly, triply sure. People are in too much stress there. Stress prevail. You can't crack a joke in a hospital. I'll be very honest. Suppose I can't ask you in front of public, कल picture देखा क्या, कौन सी picture देखी, and when patient is in front of my table
राइट,
or in my reception. I
यस,
can't do that. And I have to be serious, but I have to be calm and composed.
यस,
I have to maintain the dignity of that place. I need to welcome with the smiling face as well. Though that
यस,
person is in pain, but I have to be rest assured that yes, he or she will be has landed on the right place and will be cured. I'm
यस,
not saying that stereotype answer, aap sahi jagah aa gaye hain, this is the right place, not a stereotype answer, but the empathy is important. Empathy is not, you can't teach anybody in class. It's an
राइट,
inbuilt character. It's like a leadership. Leaders are not, classes are not taught on the leadership. They are not born on the chair only or in the couch. They are evolving. The leaders evolve. So leaders. So when you enter any hospital, system processes and people behavior reflect. Suppose
mm,
the people are attentive. Now, suppose I am crossing a corridor and security guards ask me, "Sir, may I help you? Sir, can I guide you wherever I mean, which floor you want to go?" These small, small dots are connected. When the lift man opens the door, "Sir, please, this floor has landed up. You please come." Whether lights are on, off, the housekeeping is doing whether chairs are put here and there. I am not saying the system speaks automatically,
mm,
and system is not on the policies on the paper. How much training you imparted on that, and people enjoy doing that. I suppose I'm passing this corridor and all the lights are on. It's a bright sunny day and all lights are on. Everybody's passing, but nobody's bothering because it's an engineering job. It is not their job. The engineering should come and switch, or the floor manager job. I am
mm,
from the 10th floor. I came to your floor on the ninth. Why should I touch the switches? So
mm,
it's everybody responsibility. So when we enter a hospital, anybody, people see the every minute thing. अगर आपको बता रहा हूँ, if you आपके घर में पूरा कचरा फैला हुआ है, चले हॉस्पिटल गए, कहीं भी एक कॉटन का आपने इतना रुई देखा ना छोटा गिरा हुआ, हो सकता है हाउसकीपिंग ने करके गया होगा.
mm, mm,
Housekeeping will not be, he's not omnipresent or everywhere, no. So but as a customer you'll say, "No, no, so you see it's a dirty hospital, the cotton swab is
mm,
lying ground floor." But
mm,
I'm saying that it doesn't happen in any hospital in India and abroad. You go, there is
mm,
top management, there are so many level of managers, but
mm,
if you ask them, "Do you have any problem in your hospital?" They will list 100 of them,
mm,
and the hospitals are running for so many years, but still the problem is
mm,
there. The problem will never end. But my concern is the same problem should not come. The same problem should not be repeated. But new thing every day, new problem coming. It's no, it's good for betterment. When people ask me, there's attrition in your hospital, it's good and bad. I say it's good. Attrition is good. Two factors in that. The critical employee should not leave. Number one, the critical employee attrition is dangerous for me, because who are my backbone, or who are my liver, kidney, and heart, and they are leaving. It's a very problematic. But if my
Yes.
nail goes away, I will not think much. My nail will regrow. So, or my hair falls, I'll do anything I can do. So, what my concern is, the training is important. People should feel it is their job. Everybody has to take the accountability. And any hospital, it's not built on the technology, on the building infrastructure. It's on the people only. Whatever AI may come or super AI may come, but you can't remove the people. The emotional quotient you can't remove. And these days, I believe then we a lot of people speak about IQ, EQ. That's fine. I'm not debating. But nowadays, I believe the younger generations more go. We should look for AQ, that is adaptability quotient. The adaptability quotient is high or not, because I will train you. If you don't know ABCD, I will teach you ABCD. But you should have the inquisitiveness to learn. But if you say no, 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 I know everything. I'm PhD. I am Harvard. I don't know. Need your knowledge. So that type of is people is dangerous. So learning and de-learning is also important. Point is not learning anything. De-learning is also for individual, any industry, if I right, like to say. And knowledge is not dangerous. The use of knowledge is dangerous. How you use that knowledge, that is dangerous. Knowledge is never dangerous. So there's a difference between knowledge, intelligence, and wisdom. Knowledge is I know the facts. I know ABCD. That is my knowledge. How to use that is how to know about that facts is my intelligence, and my wisdom is where to use it. Like suppose my knowledge is I have a diabetes. I am a diabetic person. Is my knowledge. My intelligence says no, diabetes may I should not eat sugar, or I should eat my food up before 6 7 whatever, something like that. But my wisdom says that yes, I have a carving for sweetness. I have a diabetes. What things apart from sugar we should carve my taste bud should satisfy my taste bud. So, so you need to elevate the people from your knowledge to the intelligence, but it's a slow, steady process. It's not an overnight process. But you need to have a patience. You need to handhold it. Suppose suppose I'm a trainer. You came for training. I taught you, Rishikesh, in 3 rings you should pick up the phone. That is a courtesy. That is an international norm. You have learned that. That's very good. You are happy with that. But are you doing that job or not? How I'll come to know that? I'll come through your supervisor or your manager. But your manager doesn't know that I have taught you this thing. So how will supervise? We are lacking in that thing. We are training the juniors, but we are not training the handholders who will be taking care of you. So my as an HR, we need to build up the culture. I believe in this, and it's very important. Any industry, hospital, any hotels you go, the smiling face of the and eagerness to help. Like suppose I take a small thing when I go to any hospital, when I ask you which I want to go to extra department, where is it? So people will say, sir, that side. Somebody will accompany me, sir. I'll give you, the normal hand gesture when you speak in hotel industry. This is the way, sir. This side, please. The hand gesture. So this shows training. This shows that top down how much effort they have taken to train their employees. But suppose they leave, you feel that's fine. But people, you have laundered that cloth, आपने पूरी उसकी dry cleaning कराई और कोई और पहन रहा है. But that employee will carry in their mind, yes, I was trained by Rishikesh or this company, or I was. So that is the way you see small dots in a hospital when you enter, the behavior of the people, how the things are kept, how the response is there. They allowed to you sit or not, wish you or not, and sometimes it takes more the time. They come and apologize. Small things, but yes, I'm very.
Absolutely, sir. And that's true of any of the service sectors, actually. I think
Yes.
hospital, hotels, you have taken example,
Yes.
hospitality and all. Sir, बहुत ज़्यादा बात हो रही है आजकल मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में, बर्नआउट्स के बारे में, बट हॉस्पिटल्स के केस में जो लोग हमारा ख्याल रखते हैं, उनका कौन ख्याल रख रहा है? तो बर्नआउट हॉस्पिटल्स में सर क्या है? किन लोगों को होता है? क्यों होता है? एंड कोविड के कारण कुछ इम्पैक्ट हुआ है क्या सर हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स के लाइफ में?
Yes, a very good question. I'd like to throw some light on this. Burnout is not long working hours. Generally, people say कि यार मैंने आज 12 घंटे काम किए burnout हो या 14 घंटे काम किए, whatever it is. Burnout is never long working hours. Burnout किसको होता है मैं बता रहा हूँ. Burnout is for the people who cares a lot. उन्हीं को burnout होता है. Suppose I am non-workaholic person. I will not have a
Yeah.
burnout. If
Yes.
I'm a workaholic and I think this is organization is mine, so it's
Mm,
not only a physical fatigue, it's an emotional fatigue also. When you take care for anything too long, anything you take care of too long instead of yours, that that leads to the burnout. And burnout in hospital is a normal phenomenon, any healthcare, India or abroad. Reason
yeah.
is, you have a night shift,
Mm,
you have, you have a shift duty as well as the, suppose I'm a staff nurse, for example, I'm a staff nurse, I'm on the floor. So
mm,
I report to my nursing manager on the floor. I report to the senior nurse as well, no doubt, senior nurse, then my nursing manager. I
mm,
report to the duty doctor as well there. If
mm,
a medical director or medical superintendent comes, I report to him or her also. If a management comes, suppose the CEO comes, I report to him or her as well. Suppose a HR manager comes, I report to him. So there's a multitasking reporting in any healthcare industry.
yes.
I'm not talking about the performance appraisal only. I'm talking about the reporting structure and long shift working hours. Ensure that every data is the new oil nowadays. So
Yeah.
in the court of law also, if you don't keep the data, everything they
Yeah.
drag you. So
Yes.
keeping the data, managing the patients, managing their relatives, and managing your colleagues, managing your seniors, duty hours. So many things are entangled to each other. The burnout is not a one-day job, and burnout happens slowly and steadily. People gets frustrated. What are the symptoms of burnout? Symptoms are people absenteeism. You know,
Yes.
the
Mm,
the empathy is lacking. As I told you now, since I'm a burnout, suppose I'm a burnout staff nurse. You say, sir, I've come from headache. I'll say, बैठ जाओ. Because I'm burnout. I'll say, oh, I will not take. I'll say, ठीक है sir, बैठ जाइए. ज़्यादा ज़्यादा मैं यही बोलूंगा. इससे ज़्यादा. But you expected more answer from me a little bit, except बैठ जाइए आप, go and sit. So,
mm,
but that is my burnout because reason is nobody has taken care of me as well. There's nothing wrong in asking. I, as a staff nurse also, or as a front office, or as a security guard, I also need rest, mental rest care,
right.
and somebody should hear to me. I
Mm,
have also 100 problems. I'm a lift man. So the people, Neta comes or some big shots come. Who are you? I will enter. I'll go to this floor. I'm
mm,
politician or I'm police wala. This guy will not stop. But as a management, I will not spare that lift man. How dare so much is the crowd on the 10th floor now?
mm,
What you are doing? But now he can't explain unless and until I lend my ears to him. I hear his basic problem and I try to resolve his problem. See, it's not the HR responsibility. HR is not the father and mother. It's a culture responsibility, and culture is not only on the policies, the papers. It's reflected in every day of your behavior. Your culture would be reflected what your mother and father has given you every day. Suppose
yeah.
I gave come to your house, you will be asking me for a glass of water first of all.
Yes.
Sir, please sit down. Can I give you a glass of water or a tea or coffee? That's your culture. That has been in your blood. So
Yes.
I am saying, the human resource team or the leadership team, everybody should be politician. There's nothing wrong. You should be a politician when you are in the corporate world, any industry. But the ethical compass should not be compromised. The ethical compass should be there. Reason is the moment you compromise with the ethical compass, then again the system hanky panky starts and everything swallow. Now, COVID time was a testing fine for across the world. It taught us that how important the life is. We saw going life is fraction of seconds. People came and people gone. Go.
Mm,
So it was a very challenging phase everywhere in the every part of the world. We can't say. But that time, hand holding, we celebrated birthdays of doctors, also nurses online. That time, I'll not say we did it, but it was on like in this, we are doing a podcast, and that a similar way we celebrated the birthday because the doctors there were few people were only wanted to work because reason is they had families also. People were willing background. Suppose I was in a hospital, I was worried about my family also. मैं तो ठीक
yes.
हूँ, मैं शाम को घर जाऊंगा, मेरे बच्चे को, बीवी को या किसी को कुछ और फैमिली में हो ना जाए. That
Yes.
was also my worry on that. Or else my society was worried, oh my God, he's a hospital guy. He's
Mm,
carrying the infection every day in my society. The guard is to be watchful on me. Have I parked my car nicely or not? I am not talking to anyone. I'm going to lift. The guard is to not say anything. My society guard, I'm saying.
yes.
But he used to keep a watch on me because I was a hospital guy. He knew that he might spread infection on. So small things, but COVID was a learning curve, and the mental strength. Everybody hand holding was a good part. We learned hand holding.
Mm,
We learned कि दुश्मनी होनी चाहिए, but to what extent? Because you see, fraction of seconds, life was gone. In big shots, of many people, but they could not, control their life. Oxygen cylinders were not available. कितना भी पैसा हो आपके पास बेड्स नहीं है, बट कुछ लोग नखरे वाले भी थे। अब ऐसे थे, मैं आपको जस्ट गिविंग एग्जांपल, some people, we since we are from hospital, people called us, yeah, help us in X place, Y place, we have our connections, we called our friends, like my friends called up, can you help me to get a bed in your hospital? I said yes. Similarly, I called my friend, can you help me with one of my relative is there, or they said yes. But some people were very finicky, no, 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 we want single room only, we can't share room with the people, I don't want general ward. So I used to tell people, see, don't see general. You want oxygen support right now. Don't go by general bed, single room. But people were, different approach were there, different mindset. People didn't knew that how dangerous this was. But yes, it was a very dangerous affair. Everybody came out of it. And see, this is a crisis where we come to know our it's an audit, crisis in audit. So where we exactly came to know where we stood. I'll tell you another example. We took a lot of care of training because everybody did, no doubt, but still, one of our employee got a COVID. He was in the hospital only. Good employee, very knowledgeable, senior employee. So we wanted to know how this guy got a COVID. I mean, why? क्यों हुआ इसको? कुछ तो रीजन होगा ना. इतना ट्रेनिंग, इतना मास्क, इतना ये सब सब कुछ करने के बाद इसको हुआ. तो and he was a very diligent and very smart fellow. And then also he got COVID. So we watched the camera. We wanted to see what went wrong. What a small thing. It was a learning curve. मतलब हम लोग को ही लगा what it is. What happened? He was going through the shift. He finished his shift. He handed over to the lady, and still he was masked. He just removed the mask and he was going out. Suddenly, some patient came, and the lady at the reception was dealing with the patients. But she was little bit new compared to he was a senior guy. So, see what she did. She asked the other guy, "Sir, can you? Yeah, this is the file. Can you see the file? And this is the. Just tell me what should we do? X, Y, Z. Something she asked me. You know what this guy did? Unknowingly, on the file came, he put the finger on the file, he turned the page, and he guided and he went away. That was the learning curve. This was the point. This is a habit. People have a habit of turning page this way. But he got COVID because of such a small thing. Then we taught everyone. This was the training for us. But yeah, don't do, don't touch anything like don't do this. But yes, this was also a learning curve for us. So yes, COVID was a very tough time, but thank God everybody came out. And yes, bonding was also important in this scenario. We bonded with each other also because we understood how life is important in this tough phase.
Absolutely, sir. And I think this this would have given you a lot of great leadership lessons as well, sir, because people remember how you make them feel during crisis, like, and that's
Right.
how they remember their leaders. Uh, do you remember any incidents, sir, during this COVID time, or any kind of a crisis that you would have faced in your, in your experience, where it was an emergency situation for the organization? You had to take some tough calls. Also, you have to make sure that people around you should not feel bad or should not feel kind of anxious. And how did you navigate that?
See, in calmness is also infectious. You know, the moment the panic is infectious, similarly, calmness is also infectious. So, as a leader, if you panic, your team will panic. That's for sure. In house, also, if you see, if your mother father panics, the children also gets panicked. That's a natural phenomenon. That's a natural way any part of the world. So, as a leader, you need to learn that you have to be calm. Number one, the communication should be transparent. The transparent silence is dangerous. Silence is very dangerous. The if you need to be, sometimes you need to take a harsh decision, nothing wrong about it, but you need to communicate what, and it's a learning curve for all also. See, suppose you are a very good employee, but suddenly whatever may the reason, you have turned out to be a very bad employee. But once you were a good employee, so I should not tolerate you. So tolerating you, giving is the wrong lesson to my rest of the team. चलता है एटीट्यूड वाला, चलता है. So you have to be, disciplined wherever the discipline needs to be followed, and where you need to have to be tough, you have to be tough. You cannot say, no, no, Rishikesh was a very good employee, I will not shout at him, I will not. Once he was now, because if you don't take a harsh decision, that's you are setting a wrong example. Setting an example over the good employees. If he is wrong, you have to communicate the ethics of the organization, the value, the culture should not be compromised. Just because suppose you are a triple IIT, triple IM, and triple PhD, suppose, it doesn't mean I will tolerate you. You can't spoil my culture of the discipline of my organization as a whole. Little bit here and there, I can understand you are in mental pressure, you are in fatigue, you are in burnout. that we can talk and adjust. But you're throwing tantrums every time because just you are a triple IT, triple IM, triple PhD. It doesn't mean that you are the boss of the everything. The organization is built on the long culture. India has also developed a culture with due course of time. It's not overnight. Culture has been. That's a example. Is Rome is not built in a day.
Right.
So leadership has to take the charge, whether it's good or bad. The heat has to be taken by the leader. You need to, don't, the moment everything goes wrong, you pass on to your juniors. अरे मैंने तो बोला था, he
Huh.
didn't follow my rules. He didn't follow the instruction. It is not my, you can't do that every time. Every
Yes.
time you just put a blame on your juniors and run away from the scene. It's not possible every time. I remember, and leadership has to be that time practical. You need to think what to do and how to do. A small example I read somewhere long time back, a very small example. There was a Raja, a king, he was born with the polio.
Hmm.
I read in some books. It's not my story. I learned in some books. So he was born in the polio. So his right leg was not in a good state. But if you see go to any kingdom, they will have big statues or big photographs of all the kings, holding the sword or bow and arrow and everything. Now, this when this gentleman became a king who had a polio, he wanted to put his photograph on the this
Yes.
thing. Now he called the painter. He'd sketch my photo. But how will sketch the photo? Because he didn't have a one leg. The moment you put a sketch on the photo with a king without a leg, he'll be killed. How dare you? So many painters politely refused. Somebody said, "Sir, I'm not in town." This, that. There were so many examples. So finally, this king was very frustrated. These people are trying to be more smart. Then he
Hmm.
said, "Whoever will sketch my photo, whatever it is, I will not punish him or something, or I reward him, something like story. I'm just missing the last clue. But
Yeah.
yes, one person came, he sketched the photo, and the king was very happy.
Hmm.
It was made and was put up in everywhere, whatever. So what this gentleman did, he put this Raja in a horse and he took a side photo. Right leg was on the right side of the horse. That was not reflecting. So the presence of mind is also very important at that situation,
Hmm.
how you need to deal with the situation. Many time decisions like we sit in the AC cabin, we pass on the decisions. But
Hmm.
generally, I see when you pass on the decision, talk to the ground workers because they deal in and out every day with their problem. So
Right.
I sit in my AC cabin, I just pass orders, I do. But unless and until you deal with the lower class means all
Hmm.
the my employees who are in the down level of the hierarchy, unless until you talk with them, you will not understand what's the root cause of the problem. We will think 100 things. See, what nowadays why consultants are required? Consultants are required because we don't read books. They read the books and they suggest us what is written in the books only. They didn't suggest us anything outside books. But we
Right.
don't want to take the pain of reading the book. That's the reason we, hire consultants. That's fine. But what I say is there are so many problems, but the calmness, the your compose and your how you think at that moment of time, because each solution will not fit in all buckets. Every time the answer will not the answer of the same question may be different. So how to this? I told you, I gave you an example. You came in the hospital, your father, mother might be agitated, or you don't have the money, or your headache is the first time. So the scenario is changing every time. You are the same patient, you are the same headache, but the scenario is changing. So leadership also changes as per the situation. Now I need to talk to suppose my housekeeping guy. I could talk the management jargons. I have to talk
Yes.
to him in the layman language. How his how he is important for me in this situation. I
Hmm.
remember again a case in a hospital, where patient was taken from OT to ICU, and when he was put in ICU, there was an instrument which was supposed to be put beside the patient. Now, what
Yes.
happened? Instead of the housekeeping taking the from the bedside to the
Hmm.
giving to the nurse, he crossed the from the patient top से उसने cross कर दिया. Nothing wrong, cross कर दिया.
Yeah.
The housekeeping thought the nurse has caught. Nurse is thinking that the housekeeping is still catching. I'll catch after 1 second. And he left it. That instrument was of 1.5 lakh rupees. टूट गया नीचे गिरा टूट गया. अब आप
Hmm.
बताइए मैं किसको ट्रेनिंग ठीक है. आई एम नॉट डिबेटिंग ट्रेनिंग. एवरीथिंग इज important. But shall I find that nurse? Shall I find that housekeeping? Or I should find both? It's a very tricky situation. And intention was not at all wrong. It was
Yeah.
just, giving the instrument to the nurse and she presumed, and it was a nick of a moment, गिर गया, टूट गया. 1.5 लाख का instrument था. But
Hmm.
I was junior level that time. I'm telling you honestly, I was very junior level. But management said, no, fine it. Fine. You have to put the fine on both the one housekeeping and nurse. You need to fine.
Mm,
So after a lot of something, we took a midway decision. That's a different story. But we didn't much, just as a token, give them a fine to give an example to rest of others. But similarly, there was a doctor. He was supposed to put laser inside the patient's leg and then fire it. But
mm,
what he did, he fired in the air. The laser machine of 5 lakh rupees was gone in drain. He should have put in the blood vessel and then fired the laser. And he thought he should test it. Management said, no, no, he's a big doctor. He should not be charged. I'm talking when in the initial days of
mm.
but see the approach. This is not fair. For me, the housekeeping is important. Here, the people lose the confidence because he's a big shot. He will not be charged. I am the poor man. For us, everybody is important. That's the leadership where you need to. But yes, leadership is evolving. I am not blaming that my boss who took this decision because he was never taught that way. You
Yes.
should learn from your teacher also what not to do. What to
Yes.
do, good things, yes, that's fine. But what not to do also is also a learning part. As a you should not learn that I should. Suppose you come to my cabin, I don't tell you to sit. You will
Mm,
feel bad. You grow up the ladder. You will tell your juniors to sit because you felt bad. I never tell you to sit in my chair. I told you stand and talk to me because I am the boss. So, but as a you felt bad but when you grew up the ladder, you felt no, no, no. This pinched me. I will not do this with my juniors. Whenever junior come to your cabin, you will teach them. Please sit down. So this is this good things, bad things, both goes on. It's a globalization world. When you take good things from the global things, you take bad things also as well. It has to become at a part and parcel. And but how to deal with it? It's your organization culture. It's a leadership skills and your
mm.
thought process.
This is so well explained, sir. Basically, like, these leadership principles, and it's kind of changing these days also. Like, we see the younger generation, like, they believe in a more flat hierarchy rather
Ji.
than in a staircase kind of a hierarchy which used to be there
Right.
in your time and in my time as well, sir. Like, so.
Great.
But sir, just kind of, let's take you back to the same hospital where you entered, and you kind of identified that these are the operational challenges which have been there. um Sir, in your career of expanding 20 plus years, uh how do you see patient satisfaction directly linked with the well-being of the caregiver, and what are the various methods that you use basically to measure the caregiver's well-being?
See, these days it's very important. Well-being is every industry. It is not well-being is a very important factor because the moment your employees are happy, they are satisfied, the patient will be automatically directly proportional. Patient will be satisfied, or the relatives will be happy by default. It's a very again a thin line. How to make a happy. Happy has also a different question. You know, for you, happy is like suppose I saying good morning, good evening, sir. You are happy, but
Mm,
you are sometimes you will not be happy also because I didn't touch your feet. So
yeah.
it
Yes.
happiness quotient is very different from every individual. Happiness quotient is different.
Mm,
Somebody is happy with 10 rupees ball pen, somebody is not happy with 10,000 rupees pen also. And the quality parameters are changing nowadays. So nowadays any hospital, if you go, the patient safety, the cost with the cost, quality with the cost, the patient safety, employee well-being, compensation, everything goes in hand, and hospital infrastructure also. It's everything is interlinked, everything is very important. So any hospital, if you go, the main thing you see is of any employees is attitude, skill and knowledge. All the things are very important. The first, before the skills, I put attitude. If your attitude is good, no, and suppose the moment I walk in, you say namaste sir, how are you doing, I'll calm down. Or if you go to see a patient, if you ask sorry, if you go to see a doctor and doctor asks you, oh, don't worry Rishikesh, this is a very small thing, it will get in 2 days, you will be up and running, you get
Yes.
confidence. You are mentally sound that he knows that it is not less than 10 days. At least they will take 10 days to get cured. The see the confidence of doctor, that's the way, the language, the tone, the pitch, the eye contact,
Mm,
everything is important. So that I wanted to say, whenever any hospital's attitude, skills, knowledge plays a very important role of that hospital. The caregiver needs to be taken care of. And this is the sad part, is this is not the priority nowadays in any hospitals. I'm not saying this you don't do, but I'm talking the majority of the hospital, the care of the caregivers are not given a due importance. it feels it's a part and parcel of their job. Emotionally, that guy or girl is, burnout or is distressed. That's fine. That they feel, no, no, no. That's he has chosen the profession,
Hmm.
but I can't say you have chosen the profession, so you have to do night shift. I'm not saying that way. What I wanted to say, the giving, like, suppose you want to going after of 6 months of
Yes.
working, you have taken a holiday. Suppose you have taken a holiday, you want to go to your hometown for 5 days. Now
Yes.
today is your train is at 7 p.m. and your work ends at 5 p.m. I'm giving a hypothetical example. So suppose I leave you at 3 p.m. to Chikesh, please go at 3 p.m. You have to pack your bags. You're not taking leave for 5 months. Tell me why you will not give your life for me? Why you will not give life for you this hospital? Emotionally, I have touched you. I could have said, no, 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 5 p.m. is the clock out time. You have to clock out 5, hand over, and then only go. But in
Yes.
2 hours, nothing will turn around. Small gestures, very, very, very small gesture. This is not a big gesture. Just giving you 2 hours time since you're going home to meet your father, mother, or
Yes.
wife. I'll tell you to go 2 hours early. Similarly, many factors, small dots connected, small, small things where the caregiver needs to be taken care of.
Right.
Suppose you are late today for 15 minutes on duty. Suppose what I'll say, no, 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 you have to work 15 minutes extra because you came 15 minutes morning late. I am
Mm.
not saying this is the problem is not you. Problem is I have not been trained or I have not been given a training that I am not right to be called as a leader. Since I am maintaining the designation of general manager or vice president or whatever, it doesn't mean I'm a leader. Designation doesn't, uh, you know, prove that you're a leader. And I may be a housekeeping guy in your hospital,
Mm.
but I may be the eldest in my family. I may be
Yes.
the leader in my family, or else I may be the society in my society, which I live, housing society. I may
Yeah.
be the chairman of that society. I may be a leader there, but in your hospital, I'm just a housekeeping guy. So you can't judge people by just by designation. You are a housekeeping, so or you are a pathologist, or you are a security guard, or you are just a senior staff nurse. You are not a leader. Everybody has a leadership quality. Everybody has their role to play, but you need to ensure that role is also enhanced, respect is given, the dignity is maintained, and the most important is discipline and integrity. You need to ensure skills I will teach you, but these people, it's a leadership job that leadership integrity and discipline is imbibed into your team members and everybody, all HODs, whichever department they have to work as a team to ensure that, and that makes the hospital or any healthcare or any organization successful.
Sir, you have worked in both India and Kenya, and
Yeah.
tell me, tell us something, sir. कि जब आप केनिया देखा आपने, how the healthcare function there, कुछ सरप्राइज था आपको as compared to the Indian healthcare system?
See, I'll tell you, um, human beings to सब जगह हैं. We are still trying to be human. That's the reason we say we are human beings. BEINGS, being बन ही रहे हम लोग. इंसान बने नहीं हम लोग. We don't
Right.
say I am a human. I am a human being. कोशिश कर रहा हूँ इंसान बनने की. सब
हाँ.
कोई हम लोग बोलते ही हैं. So
Hmm.
any part of the world you go, the trust factor, the empathy factor, it remains same whether any part of the world you go. So yes, it was a different experience, but I would say with leadership, it doesn't matter. Leadership don't go with the passport. Leadership go with the values.
Hmm.
Suppose I say, no, 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 I'm more educated than you or I'm more intelligent. No, it doesn't mean. People there are, I mean, it's a different exposure. Till they also have the same theory, patient safety first, patient first, people's first. They have the
Yes.
similar, but yes, some countries are technologically advanced, some are not.
Hmm.
So for us, like some countries call us the third world countries or second world countries, and
Hmm.
some people feel they are first world. So it's a different scenario, but the people are the same. The thought process is the same. Self-respect and trust is the foundation. And I found major eye difference. I'll tell you,
Hmm.
people there smiles a lot than Indians. They smiles a lot. They smile a lot. In you are going on a road, and suppose you are depressed, they will intervene. Sir, are you okay? In India, we are least bothered. मर रहा है मरने दो. उसका काम है, उसकी family है. But yes, they have many things to improve. But yes, I feel as a human factor, trust, respect. What I found good thing. Again, I'll tell you some good features. Whenever they used to enter my cabin, 100 times, suppose they will come. Suppose okay,
Hmm.
they will every time knock the door. How are you, sir? How are you feeling today? And then they will put up their point. India, what we do, we bang the door. Sir, ये problem है, ये problem है. But yes, that is the culture they have. They will knock your door, ask your permission. Though he knows you, he is direct reporting to you. But that is the culture they have got in their blood. They have got in the but see, since they have many things to improve, yes, healthcare is a still little elusive goal for them. Still, India is more and more advanced. Yes, trust factor, empathy factor, it's still the same. We are all humans. The respect factor still the same. So I didn't found, yeah, technologically they are not much advanced, but the ideology of taking care of human peoples first is the principle there also. I found in the healthcare industry, I should take care of 11 companies there. So gas division, pharma division, rest insurance division were also there. So I found, all disciplined people were, they are very charming. I mean, they don't take burden, we take stress a lot. They are very punctual with the time. Five means five, five out, five, one, they're out of the office. So I asked them, they said, no, we are very clear that yes, we will not take our stress home. India, unless until you work slog till 8 p.m., 9 p.m., you're not an employee. You're a good employee. You're a good employee only if you work till 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. But difference in culture, but thought process in healthcare is still same. And technologically, they need to be advanced a little bit more. But yes, good care. They treat you in a very nice way. I believe they treat you that you are, जो हम लोग बोलते हैं अतिथि देवो भव, same thing is there also. No, वो ही था कि they are very disciplined, they are very disciplined people and lively people. They want to enjoy life because they are very, life is very clear. We'll live tomorrow or not, so enjoy today. That is their funda, what I've seen that. And that's a good also, they don't take much load tension. And sometimes I'll tell you honestly, when the work is not done, you get upset. You get angry also as a boss or as a team leader. You get angry. But they used to take so lightly, sir, sorry, sir. Standard answer, sorry, sir. They will not, they will not throw tantrums or burnout or, they will say sorry, apologize. And when Samne wala apologize, you feel, okay, give him one more chance. But in our culture, people pick up the fight. Sir, I did this. He's responsible. He has not done this. But different cultures, different upbringings, but good place to work. I enjoyed working there. That was a wonderful experience.
Right. Sir, these days a lot of talks has been going around AI and um, a lot of the things in the hospitals have improved because of AI as well. Um, and would love to understand from you, two parts of it. One is that, so human capabilities are again going to be very important here. So what are those human capabilities which will become more important in an AI driven world? And second is that, sir, when you think of an hospital in 2035, say 7 years or 8 years from now, what does that hospital look like, sir? See, AI is just a safety net, I believe. It's an enabler. It's helped you to curb down the process, which are doubling tasks, tripling, or future mein aap galti jo na karo. No doubt AI is very good. It's in technology, but the human touch cannot be wiped out in any healthcare industry. This is very important. It'll help you to diagnose, where it cut short your methods where you are again and repeating same thing while booking registration of the patients or whatever it is. It will help you out. But AI is just a safety net, but that cannot be removed the human intelligence, where the compassion, touch. See, technology is very advanced these days. The sad part of technology is, suppose your friend is sitting in America, you are talking to him, you are understanding his feelings, you are feeling sorry. But technology, this is very advantage of technology. But the sad part of technology is your own family member, suppose he is in trouble, you can't see the pain in the eyes there. That's the irony of this thing, because you look for the people in the clouds. You can't look people in the clouds now. I'm talking the technology of the clouds. Point is, what I wanted to say, AI is changing. AI will improve, but it will help a lot in future. Now medicines will be, I believe this research is going on. It will be as per your uh, it will be for individual basis, gene basis. Suppose something is now, right now we by default is a fever, we take paracetamol or something. In future it will be something like that. Home care would be more advanced, I believe, in 2035 or something. Whatever, you can sit at home and take the care. Medicines will be precise. The diagnosis will be more precise. But the human touch, compassion will not go. It will not eat up jobs, I believe. AI will help to create more jobs. That is my personal opinion, and it will be more faster. Everything, the things which will be more faster from all the healthcare perspective. Patients will be a comfort zone nowadays. So much medicines have come. See, the expectancy life of a people has gone up.
because
Yes.
medicines are there to help. But still, if you go to our village, healthcare is an elusive goal. You know, we do whatever we say for urban areas, that's fine. But I traveled a lot. आप गाँव वगैरह में जाओ देखो, still healthcare. I remember in one of my hospitals, in a medical college, we organize camps. Generally in medical college they organize camps. So as a management professional, I used to go and sometimes do a random visit कि सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है नहीं चल रहा है, everything is perfect as per the process or not. I remember there was a diabetic foot patient where doctor and nurses were in the gaon. It was a village, interior of village I'm talking. So the doctor and nurse said, "Sir, you come to our hospital. It's a medical college and hospital. We'll treat you at just rupees 10. 10 rupees our registration fee, and after that you will be treated for everything." He was an old patient of 65 years, diabetic foot, and I remember he said he was saying to the nurse and doctor, "Sir, I'll come, but can you give me 20 rupees the transportation? How I'll come? I don't have 20 rupees also to come to your hospital, which is 20 kilometers away." So this is the point. This is the level of people. We say, AI and everything. That's fine, but the outreach is limited to a small pocket only. Still, AI has to go way beyond. It has to reach to every village, every people, I believe, and it should be. It's, no doubt, it's an enabler, I believe, rather than taking up the jobs or eating up the people profile. I believe it will help a lot, and no doubt this be your IQ, EQ, and AQ will not be. They cannot match that. Human, they cannot match that. The ethical judgment, that moment, the ethical judgment. AI can't do the ethical judgment that time. They can just read your X-ray and tell you the yeah, yeah, आपकी ये हड्डी टूटी है, or whatever, or this might be the case. It may uh, you know take 10 days to heal. But doing a plaster or going by the conservative way of treatment of a, suppose my this is dislocated, whether I should go for the surgery or it should be treated in the conventional way, that's the your doctor can decide with the experience and the presence of mind that time. So it's a AI is a no doubt a very good tool to help you out in the longer run, but it will be just a helping hand for all the people in this world.
Yeah. Now, one question, sir, which is I think very close to you as well, where you feel a lot, is that there's a lot of young people who enter into the healthcare industry, but very few of them survive. They go quit the job, change the industry, and all that. What would be your advice to such people? Like, how can somebody have a long version of career in healthcare?
See, I'll tell you, in anybody coming in a hospital, you are a caregiver, directly or indirectly. Though, suppose I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a bedside doctor or nurse, but yes, at the back end as a management, I'm also a caregiver. I help directly, indirectly in the patient satisfaction. You know, suppose I just because I want to, I can't see blood, for example, I can't see blood. मेरे को blood देख के चक्कर आ जाता है. Do you feel I should work in a hospital? No, I'm not right fit. Example I'm giving, I'm not right fit. Or else, suppose I can't see sorrow, people emotional burnout, people come in a hospital, cancer, or
Mm,
family crying, no, I don't have money, I've
mm,
sold my house. See, you are a good human being. How many people you will help? So
yeah.
every people will say, I don't have money, what can I do? I sold my house, I sold my bike, I sold my jewelry. I'm not
Mm,
debating, but you can't, as a person, you only can't help. You will not sell your house for, how many times you will sell your house for that? So emotionally, you have to be strong dealing with such people. You have you can see the blood. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. Yeah, they kid like no blood. Oh my God, people get fainted. And that's not a sign. If you can see a blood and tolerate, it doesn't mean you are a man. It doesn't mean that. What I
right.
wanted to say is, you at that frequency should be
Ah,
there to take
yes.
care of the people. Whichever way it is. I'm not saying only by monetary or I'm saying mentally. People need mental support that time more. So people nowadays who come to this industry, I would suggest I some one in one of my lectures in I went to college. People one person asked me, sir, I want to do I take should I take marketing or should I take HR? So I said, why you are asking me this question? बोलता है कि सर मार्केटिंग में पैसा बहुत है और ट्रैवल कर बिल्स बनाएंगे खाएंगे पिएंगे सब कंपनी पे है तो यंगस्टर गाय वेरी यंग गाय सो ही सेड नो नो सर आई वांट टू टेक मार्केटिंग and my life would be cool away from the boss. कहाँ पे बैठा हूँ क्या हर समय बॉस के सामने तो नहीं रहूंगा ऑफिस में रहूंगा तो something like that he said. I said that's fine, but I asked him, I want to ask you a few questions. I asked him, do you said you want to take marketing, that's fine, but suppose you don't take your lunch time is between suppose 1 to 2 and you take lunch around 4, what would be your reaction? He said, sir, 1 2 days I'm fine, but I'll get agitated after that. Sometimes I said you have to skip lunch, sometimes 5 p.m.,
Yes.
sometimes 5, or else you have to be adjust with the some bhajia, pakodas, and whatever. You don't get fresh food. I said, okay. I said, then suppose you go in a rainy season. I tell you, you're a marketing guy. Go and visit that company and it's raining cats and dogs. And I told you, I am your boss. I'm telling you to go. So will you like to go, getting wet? And he said, no, sir. Why should I go? It's heavy raining. Something may happen to me or whatever. I said, okay. I said, now suppose you will start your career. You will not have a car. You'll go by bike only because you are starting your career, suppose. Now what happens is you'll put your kick to your bike and bike अभी चलो वो स्टार्ट वाला आ गया है वो ऑटोमेटिक पहले तो हम किक मारने पड़ते थे मैं बोला तुम्हारा पैंट फट जाएगा कभी होता है ऐसे कि वो कभी पैंट फट गया ग्रीस लग गई पैंट में या यू आर अ मार्केटिंग गाय यू विल बी ट्रैवलिंग सो द एयरपोर्ट हैंडलर guy will throw your suitcase the life of a suitcase should be 1 year but it will be only 2 months now because you are a marketing guy. I travel once in a year because I am HR guy suppose or admin guy I don't travel. You are a marketing guy you will be traveling so your suitcase life will be from 1 year 2 months now only. So will you be able to adjust that or else you are a medical representative you go to a doctor's cabin and doctor says you sit outside I'll meet you after 2 hours. So after 2 hours when you go to the meet a doctor will you have the same zest and zeal? He said no sir. I said then why you want to join marketing? Then he said no sir you're right I will not join marketing. So point is not money you need to guide them coach them. See integrity and character and value is more important for these youngsters we need to teach them. Everybody wants peace everybody wants comfort. These are the shadows of the tree. People don't want to take care of the tree. They want the shadows, everything in the shadow. It's not possible. No, for as an youngsters, I would say if you have the fire in the belly, you want to be a caregiver, you want to do for the something for the society. Comparatively from rest of the industry, healthcare is not a paymaster.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you are an HR executive in an oil company and you are an HR executive in a healthcare company, you will paid less. That's for sure. That's for
Right.
sure. But the satisfaction, the enjoyment, the feeling, yes, I have done something for the society, and that's come should come from inside the heart. And, my friends, college friends, makes a lot of joke for me. I'm telling you openly. In my
Yeah.
college days, people used to ask me when I was a student, and they used to ask me, "Okay, why did you join this healthcare industry, or why you want to join the healthcare industry?" And I'll tell you very frankly, old जमाने में वो गंदी सी स्मेल आती थी हॉस्पिटल में वो फिनाइल वाली
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ. Right.
आजकल पीछे के एडवांस केमिकल्स आ गए एंड आई लव दैट स्मेल आई एंजॉयड दैट स्मेल दैट हॉस्पिटल का जो टिपिकल स्मेल होता है ना बट सी द डेस्टिनी हाउ डेस्टिनी टेक्स यू
Yes.
everywhere but people make still my friends make fun of me a smell of hospital but yes you should love everything of the when you want to come in that area you should
Yeah.
love all the things you can't say half-hearted thing with there you have to be the part and parcel of good things bad things you need to see death also sometimes बुरा लगता है डेथ देख के किसी की फैमिली का कोई लॉस हुआ है या किसी का एम्पुटेशन हो गया लेग का हैंड का बुरा लगता है नो डाउट बट yes you should have that courage to see that and you should have a courage to deal with that employee's relative now a common case after death हो गई पैसे नहीं है सर पैसे नहीं देंगे
Yes.
होता है इट्स अ नॉर्मल फिनोमेना एवरीवेयर बट हाउ टू डील विद सच पीपल आई कांट से नो 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 आपको देना पड़ेगा उसके घर में डेथ हुई है किसी की I can't be robust. I can't be, so how to deal with such people psychologically for every strata of people, every patient, every relative, you have to have a different mindset and deal with them differently. So for the youngsters, I would say if you want to, make a career in the for something giving to the back to the society, but it's a very satisfying field, emotional field where and you should have the niche and you should not be the integrity is very important the compassion and empathy is important most one of the important things to be in this field.
This is so well said, sir. And that example kind of resonated a lot is that people see the brighter side of the things, especially these young kids. They miss the other side.
Yeah.
And now is the most interesting part of this podcast is that we're going to play rapid fire with you.
Okay.
And you just have to answer that in one word, sir.
Okay. Okay.
So, empathy or efficiency? What is more important?
Empathy is more important. See, buildings and infrastructure technology will be there, but that is a hard. But empathy is the first priority. Empathy is there. A building and is not good. That's technology is not good. That's fine. But a building and infrastructure, everything is fine, and that's of 100 crores. But empathy is not there. Not a successful any organization. Empathy first priority.
Biggest healthcare myth that you have heard so far?
Healthcare myth is that doctors is the only factors. I say the entire team working there. It's a gamut of team, the administration team, the finance team, housekeeping team, biomedical team. It's a team effort. A small example: if a doctor is standing in a knife in an operation theater, and that suppose any instrument doesn't reach it there, doctor effectiveness will not go down. He's a doctor; he has his magical hands. But somewhere the system was wrong. Something leadership, some point was missed. So it indirectly affected the patient care. The patient was not operated on time, so now the next patient was not operated. So it cascades down. Now gradually the जो operation theater 5 बजे बंद होने वाला तब रात को 8 बजे बंद होगा. Delay of 3 minutes, but it takes you 3 hours down the line. You know, sometimes. So very important thing. The myth is that only caregivers are doctors, but I believe no. Everybody plays a leadership team, a coordination. It is rather than the hard work, smart work, and together work is more important in a hospital.
One thing which hospitals should stop doing right away.
Hospital should not go only on the occupancy or EBITDA and on those things, the numbers, the figures. The taking care of the employees, believe they should be very important, because the moment they are taken care of, the entire system is taken care of. But generally in this corporate world now, in this Kali Yuga, you can say that money is very important. But I believe occupancy and EBITDA is part and parcel, is subset. I will not debate that, but well-being of an employee, any employee, whether it's a top to bottom, should be taken care of.
And now I think you have to think of this, sir, because I'm going to ask you a tough one. Is that one person who has influenced your entire leadership journey?
I would say many of them. I mean, I will not recommend, I will not suggest only why I'm a follower of one, because I told you initially, I have a habit of taking good things as well as bad things from my seniors. Bad things so that I don't repeat that thing again. So many of them have curved me. Initially, I'll tell you, I used to work 16, 17 hours, and I used to, while going to the bed, I used to curse my boss. I'll be honest and upfront, कितना करवाता है यार, 16 घंटे 17 घंटे काम करवाता है, and not a good work done also. But now I really thank from the bottom of the heart, because of that 16 hours work, I learned. It was a learning curve for me, because I was young also, no family responsibility. So many leaders have shaped, but more than the leaders who taught me good things, I am thankful for the leaders who taught me bad things not to do, bad things which not to do, because I believe that my juniors say me, sir, ये quality आप में अच्छी है. So then ये मेरे साथ हुआ पड़ा है. So I don't do my to my juniors, and they cherish that. So I'm thankful to them also as well. What not to do also as is important thing. From you learn from your seniors. So many leaders, I would not like to name any one particular, but ample of them has taught me. Even I'll tell you, you travel in Mumbai local. I stayed most of my life in Mumbai. Mostly of my career, 18 years in Mumbai, 2 years Chandigarh, 2 years Pune, 1 year, 2 years Ahmedabad. Similarly, in train, there's so many people traveling, but you hardly talk to few people only, or your neighbors only. You don't talk to everyone. So your destiny or your frequency also matches. You know whom you want to talk. Some people, you see, if you sit beside somebody, you want to move away.
Yeah.
You feel that negative energy is flowing from that body. And
Yes.
sometimes you don't know that people, but you say hello, how are you, and you want to chat, because the frequency also matches. The frequency also matches a lot of your frequency and my frequency. So that way, I'm saying, you will understand when you grow up the ladder. Anybody who goes up the ladder will understand whom to talk, whom to keep away. So keeping away the nonsense away from your life is also very important. Sometimes silence is also a very important decision as a leadership decision. You have to be silence. You have to be silent as well.
So now the last one of this podcast is that after 2 decades of building healthcare organization, what is that one truth which people that every leader eventually understands?
I believe communication. And if you communication is not proper, improper, or half proper, whatever you want to say, communication is very important. I was reading somewhere in Google. It was saying that around 84% of the divorce in the world is because of communication.
Yes.
4%. That's a Google. It's not my numbers. Communication and trust is important. You know what I'll say as a leader? Suppose you have a problem in your office. Suppose you come and say me, sir, I've been always giving night shift by my boss. My boss hates me. That's the reason he gives me night shift. Or else my boss is not giving me printer. I need printer. I print confidential documents. That are official problems. Sir, मेरे boss मेरा AC ठीक नहीं करवा रहा है जानबूझ के मेरे room में. So that are official problems. You have a right to come and say me. But suppose the day you come and start sharing your personal problems here, sir, I have a problem with my wife, or I have a problem with my bank balance or something, very personal thing which people should not know. That's
Right.
the trust we have developed now. The moment you have started sharing me your personal problems, very, very personal, not day to day problems. So, bike kharab ho gayi, that are not problems.
Huh.
Personal. I'm talking your inner family problems, which people should not know. Or else you have something very problem in marriage or something. Very, very personal problems when you are sharing, communicating to me as a boss or as a leader. See, leadership जो जब आपकी ज़रूरत हो सब लोग ताली बजा रहे हैं आपके लिए, वो लीडर नहीं होगा। जो आप जब जब आपको ज़रूरत हो आपके कंधे पे मैंने हाथ रखा, देन आई एम अ लीडर। जब आपको ज़रूरत थी मैंने आपके कंधे पे हाथ रखा, आई गिव यू शोल्डर, दैट इज़ द लीडरशिप साइन। Applauding and applause and those doesn't make a leader anyone. So in this Kali, people need to understand very clearly that emotion in the Gen Z and Zen Alpha there nowadays, they change their mind quickly. So you have to also be, like a recipient with them, and you can't say, "कौन हो तो मैं तो 18 घंटे काम करता था, तुम 8 घंटे में burn out हो जा रहे हो." I can say that. I used to work 18 hours, you are just 8 hours and you are burnt out. What your nonsense you are talking to me? I can be
Yes.
very rebelliant,
Wow.
but I need to understand the generation is different. For generation wise, they are no doubt technologically more advanced than me. What I was learning as a technology, they are super smart than me in technology. So every
Yes.
generation has their own advantage, own disadvantage. Every generation has that thing. But I would say these days, people, you have to be, the communication day in and day out. Communication again doesn't mean मैंने एक बार बुला के मैंने town hall कर लिया,
Hmm.
आपसे मैंने बात कर लिया और सब ठीक है ना, how's life? That is not communication. Communication is where you talk from heart to heart, and you can read the eyes of the people. Today is not good, or
Hmm.
it might be any reason. He is not performing today. That's okay. He's not performing today. He's a performer. But
Yeah.
today not performing, कुछ तो दिक्कत होगी, आज किसी का मूड ठीक नहीं है, कभी किसी के होते हैं, we are human beings. So
Right.
but not throwing tantrums. Suppose you're not completing the task, you have a stomach ache. I don't know that, you don't want to share, you have a stomach ache,
Yeah.
but you're not. So I will throw tantrums. I gave you a task to complete, but again I'm saying, then you also have to need to communicate to me, sir, today I'm not well. You suppose you are silent. So communication is both way, and
Yes.
it's never on the words, it's body language also.
Yeah.
Communication आंखों से ज्यादा होता है आजकल तो।
Right.
कम्युनिकेशन आँख से इतना ज़्यादा होता है कि you can understand, read the eyes of each other very clearly,
Right.
what is thinking or what is, and people are so smart these days. They can, people are brainy these days. But communication, I believe, is the best policy, whether good or bad. Suppose I don't go along with you.
Right.
Where ये
Right.
होता
Yes.
है wrong, but this is the leader's job to take care of that. I like to add one story. Skills is
Yeah.
also very important. I read somewhere, I am the boss. I know this thing. Do you know this thing? He said, no. A useless guy. I know Puran. You know this thing? No, I know Vedas. All Vedas. Well, anyway, this is the story in a nutshell. So once he was crossing the river and suddenly heavy rain came. Heavy, heavy, heavy rain came and the boat was starting to capsize. डूबने
Hmm.
वाला था। तो जो डूबने वाला था सबने यही बोला कि गुरुजी आपको तैरना आता है क्या? तो वो बोला नहीं मुझे तैरना तो नहीं आता और बाकी सबको तैरना आता था। तो नॉलेज इज नॉट only the important thing. You have to be multitasking. Skills is also very important these days. You know,
Yes.
so communication skills हैं आपके, चाहे handling people skills है, emotional skills हैं. So
Hmm.
skills, not knowledge will not only help you to survive in this world. You are knowledgeable, that's good, but skills and dealing with these younger generations is very important. They are more smart than you, so you have to run with their pace. Otherwise, see, it's like this entire journey of professional journey, anything, anybody's life is a marathon. आपका मैराथन अलग है, मेरा मैराथन अलग है. इट्स नॉट अ स्प्रिंट कि मैं आपको पार कर दिया, मैं जीत गया. It's a marathon. We need to run through the age we are working. It's a big marathon, and communication will fall a very important part of this.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining and sharing all this valuable experience with our audience. And must say that it was a very unfiltered, candid discussion that we had around the healthcare industry, HR profession as such. Especially the examples that you put in, brings forward so many things in such a tacit way that people can actually relate to it. And I would also like to tell to the audience that um, avoid watching reels. And I will tell you why. Is that, see, a lot of you, must be worshipping Shiva, or you may be from any religion, for you may be a Sikh, you may be a Muslim, you may be a Christian. It takes time for, something to actually, kind of prosper. But when you watch reels, what happens is that you're tuning your mind to very quick dopamine hits. And that kind of starts reflecting in your relationships as well.
Accepted.
So I think Dr. Neeraj will agree to this, is that, so let's suppose tomorrow I have an altercation with Dr. Neeraj. Let's suppose, for an example. And since I am a dopamine addict because I watch a lot of reels, the natural inclination for me will be to cut off my connection with Dr. Neeraj.
Accepted.
And that should not have happened, because as Dr. Neeraj was telling you, I hope if you would have listened to the podcast fully, just 5 minutes back, he was telling one thing, is that you know um, one day can be bad. You may be having an stomach ache, right? You may not be performing on that day. That's fine. That's completely fine, right? That doesn't mean that your HR head will judge you on that.
Great.
Been a good performer, maybe next day you can come in and you can perform well, and you will do that. But you have to communicate that thing to your leader. And that is what, if I cut off my relationship with Dr. Neers, what will happen? It's done. I should not do that. If I have an altercation, I should go to him. I should apologize. I should say something. It may take 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 6 days. We will again be good friends. We'll again be good connections. So don't watch a lot of reels. Watch long form content. You watch Dawdle or not watch Dawdle, that is not a problem. But watch something long form. Watch the movies, the 3 hours movies, the 2 hours movies. That is a better exercise for your mind than to watch these all 2 second, 5 second reels.
That's
And you
infectious, I believe. Actually, that is infectious. We get infected to that reels. Any reels.
exactly, and that shows off on the roads, on everywhere, sir. Like, people are so impatient. People are honking. People are like not willing to talk to you. Even if you tell a small thing, that triggers their ego very quickly, and this is not good for the society. So I can't tell this thing to Meta, to Instagram, because they are earning money because you're watching reels. But you have to think for your own self, guys. And once you see that your kids also learn that, your society also learn it, uninstall these apps. Even if you have to watch, you click on Google, go there and then watch. That creates a resistance.
Yes, please.
But don't keep those apps on your mobile. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to this, and thank you so much, Dr. Sir, for joining us. And this is my third conversation with Dr. Neeraj. The last two conversations also lasted for around 1 hour. I, I have felt so much connected with Sir. Like, I kind of love talking to him. You know why? Because when you talk from the bottom of the heart, it's visible. And a great HR leader is very good at that. He knows who is faking, and he knows who is trying to make a sense. Right. Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring all of us, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure interacting with you, and I hope some of my points would help the healthcare organization leaders, or as well as the newcomers. They'll try to imbibe something and learn from something, and would love to interact with you again in future as well. Thank you.